How to stay motivated with your investments using the Locus Rule. Have you ever promised yourself, this time I'm really going to take investing seriously? Opened an account, watched a few videos, maybe bought your first ETF, and then a market dip or a red week just killed your motivation. One bad day in the market, one scary news headline, and suddenly you stop checking your portfolio, stop learning, stop investing. It feels like your motivation just evaporates. You are definitely not alone. And the problem is not that you are lazy or bad with money. The problem is usually the story you tell yourself about who is really in control of your financial future. Quick thing before we dive deep into this. If you like learning about money, markets, and mindset in a simple, no-nonsense way, consider subscribing to Investor Economics. It is free, and it tells YouTube to keep sending you content that actually helps you build wealth over time. All right, let's talk about something called the Locus Rule, and how it can completely change the way you think about investing and staying consistent. There is a famous psychology experiment I love. A group of kids were given a simple puzzle to solve. After they finished, they all did well. But the researchers did something sneaky. Half of the kids were told, "Wow, you are really smart." The other half were told, "Wow, you worked really hard on that." Same puzzle, same result, totally different message. Then the kids were given a choice. Do you want another easy puzzle or do you want a much harder one? Here is where it gets interesting. The kids who were praised for being smart mostly chose the easy puzzle. They did not want to risk failing and looking not smart. But the kids who were praised for working hard often chose the harder puzzle. They were like, bring it on. If I fail, at least I am trying. This little difference reveals something called your locus of control. In simple language, it is what you secretly believe drives your results. Do you believe your financial life is mostly controlled by luck, governments, rich people, and the economy? Or do you believe your daily decisions, your learning, your discipline, play the main role? If you lean toward an external locus of control, your inner voice says things like, the market is just a casino, normal people cannot win. Or, the system is rigged, so why bother? Or, I will never be one of those people who retire early. If you lean toward an internal locus of control, your inner voice sounds more like, I cannot control the market, but I can control my contributions. I cannot predict the economy, but I can control my savings rate, my risk level, and my education. Back to the kids. The SMART label made them feel their success came from something fixed, their intelligence. So they protected it. They avoided risk. The hard-working kids felt their success came from effort. So they leaned into challenge. They were willing to look bad for a while to grow. Now, put this into the investing world. Imagine you think, I am just not good with money. I always mess this up. What happens when your portfolio drops? You panic. You think, here we go again. I knew this was not for me. You sell at a loss, stop learning, maybe disappear from investing for years. Now imagine instead your identity is, I am someone who learns how money works. I am a student of the markets. I might make mistakes, but I keep showing up. When your portfolio drops, you still feel the pain, but your reaction is different. You think, okay, this hurts, but downturns are part of the game. What can I learn here? Do I keep dollar cost averaging? Do I rebalance? Do I need to adjust my risk? Same dip, same red numbers, completely different response. Let me paint a clear picture. Two friends, same age, same salary, same starting capital. Both invest $1,000 into a broad index fund. After a few months, the market drops 20%. Their portfolios go down to $800. Person A has an external locus. They say, I knew it. The market is a scam. The rich always win, people like me always lose. They sell at $800, lock in the loss, and swear off investing. Person B has an internal locus. They say, all right, this is uncomfortable, but I knew markets move in cycles. My time horizon is 10, 20, 30 years, not 3 months. They keep investing every month, maybe even buy more at lower prices. 10 years later, who do you think ends up with more money? Not the one who was smarter on paper, the one who believed their actions mattered. So how do you shift your own locus of control so you can stay motivated with your investments, especially when things look ugly? Let's turn this into a practical playbook you can actually use. Step 1. Change the way you explain your results to yourself. When something goes wrong, pause and listen to your internal story. You buy a stock at the top and it crashes. Do you say, "I am an idiot, I should never invest"? Or do you say, "That hurt? But what exactly did I miss? Did I chase hype? Did I skip research? Did I ignore risk?" After every win or loss, ask what part of this was in my control and what part was not. Maybe you could have controlled your emotions, your position size, your diversification. The economy and headlines, those are out of your hands. Step 2. Praise your effort, not your financial status. Instead of saying, "I am so bad, I only saved a little," try, "I am proud I saved something this month." "I showed up for my future self." Instead of, "I am broke, I will never get there," try, "I am in a rebuilding phase, but I am learning, investing, and improving my habits." Your brain starts to link your identity to actions, not to your current net worth. Step 3. Focus on process goals, not only outcome goals. An outcome goal is, "I want $1 million. That is fine, but it is far away and mostly out of your direct control in the short term. A process goal is, "I will invest 10% of every paycheck." Or, "I will spend 30 minutes a week learning about investing." Or, "I will not check my portfolio more than twice a month." You control the process, the outcomes then become a byproduct. Step 4. Treat your investing journey like a series of experiments, not a test of your intelligence. Scientists do not quit when an experiment fails. They adjust and try again. Bought a stock that went badly? Instead of "never again," try, "What were my assumptions? Where did they break? And how can I update my checklist next time?" Tried day trading and realized it is stressing you out and losing you money? That is not proof you are dumb. It is just data that your personality and schedule might fit long-term investing better. Step 5. Curate your financial environment. If you are always around people saying things like, "Nobody gets ahead," "It is all luck," "Why try?" it slowly drags your locus of control outward. Start filling your ears with stories of ordinary people who built wealth slowly, with consistent action. Long-term investors, people who dug out of debt, people who started small and stayed in the game. Because the more examples you see of effort turning into results, the more your brain accepts, "Hey, maybe this can work for me too if I keep going." When you shift your locus of control, tiny actions suddenly feel powerful. Adding $50 to your investments is no longer pointless. Reading one article is no longer a waste of time. Saying no to one impulse purchase feels like casting a vote for your future self. That is how motivation becomes more stable. It stops depending on whether your portfolio is green or red this week, and starts depending on who you believe you are becoming. So as you move forward with your investing journey, ask yourself one simple question each day. What is one small money move that is in my control today? Then do that, and give yourself credit for it. If you found this way of thinking about money and mindset helpful, make sure to subscribe to Investor Economics so you do not miss future videos. We are building a community of people who want to understand both the numbers and the psychology behind wealth. And if you want tools, resources, or products that can help you take the next step, check the description below. I have linked some helpful options there for you to explore.